Hello, so I'm doing my the Fire Next assignments. Sorry. Okay, so I really did like this piece. I thought it was very relevant to even today. However, I'll stick to the questions. And what did you learn from the Fire Next time? Or what did I get from it? I got that the African American people are people that have been through many, many devastating situations in their lives. And even though they have been through so much catastrophe, they have prevailed and they are still standing today strong, and they're a community that will will be strong as God permits. Um, and I believe that what I got from it also, I believe that the author James Baldwin really was trying to support his community. He was really trying to encourage them to do more. He was encouraging them and letting them know that this is what you've been through and this is what you could do more. And in contrast to the white man, even though they tried to push him down or whatsoever, we know that the white man is basically scared of change. And minorities, in this case African Americans, were the case. And this is why they were the scapegoat. And this is why we have what, even in today's society. So what do you believe was Baldwin's purpose for writing The Fire Next Time? As I just said, I believe his purpose was to encourage his community, to let them know that there's something more besides the slavery and the oppressing of his people. Let them know that it is possible for an African American to succeed in society. Let's see, what thesis or ideas does he put forward in his text? I thought it was very interesting. His thesis, his main point, is to encourage, like I said, his people. I do find it encouraging when he does hint on religion, where he says, Christianity was for the white man, and he states how, I'm sorry, it says, I wrote down a quote where it says, where he stated when he was like 13 or a teenager, and he started noticing that guys started letting themselves go. Something oppressed them. And it was a chain, it was a domino effect. These teenagers, these young adults, were trying to make it in the world, but however, they were dropping out. They weren't succeeding. He said that he knew many doctors that were handyman. And I believe he's getting the point where we do acknowledge that even though our fellow African Americans were not enslaved themselves, however, their ancestry comes from slavery, so it does affect them mentally. They are oppressed by the white man. They know their roots are from slavery, and that does bother you, that does affect you emotionally, mentally, and in a certain way it does affect your state of being, and how to succeed life, because your ancestors or your other generations don't know how to guide you to a better life, because this is all that they were taught. What impact did the reading have on you? I believe the impact was very, very, it was very real. It was very powerful because, as he stated, our African American went through so much, but it just made them so much stronger. It made them intelligent. They knew what to do. They were submissive not because they wanted to, but because they had to be submissive, and that was their way of living. But however, the African Americans were more intelligent than their white counterparts. Do you disagree or agree with Baldwin's assessments? I believe that I do agree with it, just because, as he states that African Americans went through so much, and even in the point of religion, where he states Christianity was made for the white man, and when the Muslims or Islamic viewpoints come around, where they figured out that God was black, I believe that in a way that it motivated them to seek some sort of light, or to seek some sort of increase in their faith, to know that somebody is out there for them, and even in the way that they help each other, or the way that they show love towards each other, even though they've been through so much chaos in their life. So I do agree with Baldwin, since he does state everything that the African Americans have been through, and even though they went through so much, they are resilient towards their culture, towards their love, and towards their perseverance to strive in even today's economy. What solutions does he offer to end racial divide? I do acknowledge where he does state that the whites need to love themselves first in order for them to love others, because obviously they're not confident enough for to love others, since they fear others. So maybe they should be more secure of themselves to actually have a nation with minorities, since our nation is very diverse. Also, I'm sorry. Also, where Baldwin states resilience in not to hate the person whose foot is on your neck, or to teach your children not to hate. It's very wonderful, where even though our African American peers or community have been through so much, they try not to encourage the hate, even though it was set upon them. Do you believe? Oh, what solutions does he offer to end? Oh, I already did that. Sorry. And do you believe his solutions are viable? Why or why not? I do believe they are viable, as I stated before. His solutions are for the European Americans to accept themselves before anything else, and we cannot have a country if we're still diverse in many means. Sorry. And I think his analysis are relevant today? Yes, I do think they are relevant today, because even though we have had many years of abolishment of slavery, and even the civil rights movement, we still go through so many things today, as the police brutality, as in the mass incarcerations. We do have a society where I do believe it has improved, but I really don't think we're there yet completely. However, I do believe this book, even though it was written in 1965 or 63, I do believe it did bring a lot of strong points, where we need to acknowledge what is going on, and what the European Americans have affected our African Americans into living healthy, successful lives even today.